Represent, represent. Cuba, hey, y música. Oh, I love that song. That's going to be my bumper song for, I don't know, until I find something else that will move your soul like that does. So, welcome. Name's Pepe. I'm the Echo Chamber Assassin. And this has been a very, very interesting week. And 2020 has been really interesting. But let's kind of break it down here. So today I want to talk about a few things. First, I want to talk about a continuation of the introduction of my show. So the bottom line is, chances are we probably won't agree on a lot. Maybe we do. That really is immaterial. Because bottom line is this. We need to fix this. We need to fix the way we talk to each other. We need to fix the way we address these issues that are so contentious that we feel we cannot reconcile. Because guess what? We need to talk about it. We need to dialogue about it, whether you want to admit it or not. When the conversation stops, there's only two options: isolation, violence. Isolation, violence. Those are the only two things that happen when we remain silent. We don't want that. I don't want that. You don't want that. You may feel like it's already to the point of no return with violence, but guess what? No, it's not, because we as adults can actually talk about these things, okay? And we can get to the bottom of the corruption that is actually perpetuating all of these things, all right? So welcome to the show. Please take a like my show, subscribe, tell a friend, share it, post it, do whatever, tweet. I don't care how you do it. Just get the word out, because this conversation needs to happen. And our echo chambers that we've created for ourselves need to evaporate, and evaporate as of yesterday. So let's get to the show. It's not going to be very long. I don't want to take a whole lot of time. I myself, whenever I listen to shows, whenever I look at how long they are, if they're anything longer than, say, 10, 15 minutes, I just go, man, come on. But when you break it down to like anywhere between 5 and 8 minutes, that to me is something that can get a conversation started. Now, when it comes to me putting people on the show, we're going to do something really different with that. We're going to just have a side by side. It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be taped because I can edit for anything that might just be dead space or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to eventually get to the point where they're going to be live. But my guests on the show will always get first crack at looking at the final edit, so they can sign off on it. But the bottom line is that when it comes to those shows, they'll be a little longer, because obviously when you start talking, time can get away, especially if the topic is actually intriguing. But let's get to the show tonight. I want to talk about a couple of things. First, I want to talk about, I just learned that Wolf Blitzer is an apologist for the Republicans. Oh my goodness. When I heard Nancy Pelosi call Wolf Blitzer an apologist for the Republicans, what more evidence do you need that term limits should be a part of anyone's platform running for public office? Okay. Really? She's got people in her own party. She's got Republicans. She's got everyone saying, let's come to the table and negotiate and pass the bill. She's holding the American people hostage when it comes to that. And I just absolutely have no clue why she's doing it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do know why. She just absolutely loathes Trump. Okay? Whether you like him or hate him or whatever, you tell me this. He's actually willing to talk about it. If it's a clean bill, okay, if it's something that actually can be signable, let's talk about it and let's negotiate. Come on, Nancy. Get off the poop or get off the pot, okay? Let's get this done. Second, I wanted to talk about was the Supreme Court hearings with Amy Coney Barrett. First of all, whether you agree with the concept of her being nominated or not and confirmed or not, listen, there's really no constitutional reason why she can't be nominated. There's a lot of talk about precedent, this and that and the other, but the bottom line is there's just as much precedent for her to be confirmed, nominated and confirmed, as there is against it. But the Constitution wins, okay? President nominates and the Senate advises and consents, all right? And the Senate can decide to do whatever it wishes, and it's decided to hold the hearings, and they have been just very entertaining at the difference between how one set of questions are relevant and the other set of questions aren't really relevant. For example, there's a couple of issues that are at play. First of all, Roe v. Wade, that's a huge issue. And I've made some comments on my Facebook talking about, what I guess my comment earlier today was about sexual preference, okay, discussing whether sexual preference is offensive. And there's been a lot of discussion about, well, do people get to choose how they feel sexually? And there's a lot of identity politics going on there. But the bottom line is, whether I believe that something is a choice or not is immaterial. But what I don't tolerate is when people treat others without dignity. Human dignity needs to be paramount, okay? Whether I believe someone's has a choice or whether they're born with whatever situation we're talking about in this situation is sexual orientation or sexual preference, whatever that is, however you want to label it, that doesn't change the way I view that person as a person. They have a voice. They have the right to love whoever they want to love, and this shouldn't be a discussion. Okay, the issues that we have stem from the fact that we view and treat certain people based on whatever criteria that we decide to use as less than, and that we treat them without human dignity. Okay, if everyone could just understand that human dignity is the ultimate human right, then we'd all be better off. Okay, nothing, being born to a rich family, being born to a poor family, being born Asian, being born Haitian, being born Cuban, like me, being born to Cuban parents, born in America, being born white, being born black, I don't care, being born purple, okay? That has no bearing on how people should treat you, all right? And it should have no bearing on how you think about yourself, all right? Because you own your destiny, because the choices that you make in your life are what really drive everything. And whether you feel like you've been dealt a better hand than the other, someone else, or you got the short end of the stick, or you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, come on. Here's the deal. When you, I guess I want to put a quarter. I'm going to get a jar here, and I'm going to put a quarter every time I say, here's the deal. Okay. I've got some taglines. I've got, here's the deal. I've got, the bottom line is, the fact of the matter is, I say those things a lot. And so I'm going to try and break those habits. But getting back to my point about human dignity, we need to have human dignity. That should be the paramount, and every discussion that we have should be focused on working toward getting human dignity for all. Okay? And that doesn't mean giving stuff to people for free. No, that means understanding that there may be people out there that can't fend for themselves. All right? But also understanding that we need to create an environment for where people can actually do things and help their situation, okay? Amass wealth, ownership, okay? So what really stands out to me is the difference between the way justices are treated as a when either party nominates a justice. It's just funny how the questions get spun to try to make a certain point. But one thing that I heard today was somebody made comment back when Justice Kavanaugh was being nominated. Her comment was that, well, when Justice Kavanaugh gets into the Supreme Court and guts or neuters or diminishes the power of Roe v. Wade, then you'll be saying, you shouldn't have appointed him. Well, that was 2 years ago, and I don't really remember any disintegration of Roe v. Wade other than the fear of nominating Amy Coney Barrett as another, building block toward doing away with Roe v. Wade. Come on, folks. All we are doing with a Supreme Court justice is we are seating a person that is going to sit there and call balls and strikes. Okay? They interpret law and they offer judicial explanations of that law in their writings, whether they get overruled, the dissenting opinions, and things like that. But we don't put someone in the SCOTUS or the Supreme Court to sit there and rewrite or reconfigure what the strike zone is. So we want someone to call balls and strikes. We don't want someone in between innings to redefine what the strike zone is. All right. And finally, censorship. Wow. Just wow. Now, I woke up to a lot of people. Actually, it was last night. I had some people tell me, oh, all of the information that was supposed to bury the Obama administration and Biden and Hillary, where did it go? What happened? Where it was all to do about nothing, essentially, for the past month. But there's a laptop that was sent to a computer place, was waterlogged, and it's since been confiscated by the FBI, and that's a whole nother thing that we can get to in another day. But what happened was it was Hunter Biden's laptop. Okay, no one can prove that it was Hunter Biden that gave the laptop, but there was quite a bit of information on there and some emails that were on there, and it was validated. Sent the person who was working on the computer did a backup, and he sent the backup to Rudy Giuliani and his folks. And there's some interesting bits of information on the hard drive, among with the pictures. And the pictures, that to me is just like, okay, whatever. And yeah, he does have some a history of drug problems. And listen, man, we're humans, and some people have addiction problems, and I'm not going to make fun of anyone that struggles with that. And that's neither here nor there. But the things that really caught my attention were that, yeah, he was selling his influence, and turns out that if this emails are legit, Joe Biden may have known about some of this. Okay. And what it does is highlights the fact that Joe lied, that he said that he never talked to Hunter about his business dealings. The other piece is that it explained and gave to the impression to the entire world at that point that American foreign policy can be bought. I don't know how you feel about it, and you may think, all politicians are crooked and this and that and the other, but at some point, you're just going to have to say, hold up, what happened? Why aren't we asking the questions? Why isn't ABC, all of the letters, CNN, whatever, why aren't they asking about these things? Okay. And why is Twitter completely censoring and oppressing this information? All they did was just create a more firestorm of desire to know about what's really going on. Okay. Facebook and Twitter, Dorsey and Zuckerberg are going to have to go and explain themselves. They got some splaining to do. Okay. So, listen, those are the things that I wanted to talk about. Leave comments down in the discussion section. Leave comments in the comment section. Tell me what you thought. Maybe give some ideas. Oh, a fraternity brother of mine did give me an idea of things to talk about, but I had already had an idea of what I wanted to talk about today. And in future shows, we're going to talk about the concept of minorities and what party you should be associated with, and we'll get into that later. But like I said, feel free to contact me personally. Put comments on the comment section if I get to them. It's probably the best way to send me a little message, and tell me what what do you want me to talk about? What do you feel is important to talk about? Anyway, listen, I want you guys to have a great day. Contemplate this stuff, because listen, I told you, the conversation stops, isolation, violence. I don't want any of those. So keep the conversation going. This is the Echo Chamber Assassin signing out.